where logic goes to die. Stores are designed to be controlled environments. Fluorescent calm, background music, aisles that guide customers gently from one impulse to another. But every day, inside supermarkets, malls, and retail chains across America, something stranger happens. A small decision, an emotion, a misunderstanding, a surge of confidence or chaos cuts through that carefully managed order like a glitch in the matrix. That's when someone gets kicked out. Most of the people in these 45 cases didn't set out to cause trouble. They weren't criminals or troublemakers. They were just ordinary humans having very abnormal moments, tiny lapses in judgment that spiraled into public meltdowns, absurd confrontations, or spectacularly unnecessary chaos. A coupon argument becomes a scene. A product test becomes property damage. A misunderstanding becomes a security escort. A single impulse becomes an incident report written in the most diplomatic language possible. Retail workers see humanity without its filters. Hunger, impatience, boredom, desperation, overconfidence, and pure improvisational stupidity. And stores magnify every emotion. The lights are too bright, the floors are too shiny, the lines are too long, the choices are too many, the people are unpredictable. This file isn't about bad customers. It's about the absurdity that happens when normal people collide with public spaces and logic collapses on impact. Welcome to the Absurdist Files, File 011, 45 dumbest reasons people got kicked out of stores, where the aisles are straight, but human behavior is not. Public freakouts that escalated faster than logic. 1. The customer who screamed for 20 minutes because her coupon expired yesterday in Ohio. A woman tried to use a coupon that had expired the day before. When the cashier politely explained the policy, she began screaming loud enough that nearby aisles emptied. She knocked over a candy display while insisting the store was stealing her money. Security escorted her out as she continued yelling, "It's the principal." The coupon value? $1.50. Employees later said the entire meltdown lasted longer than her actual shopping trip. 2. The man who sprayed every perfume bottle to find the one. A man in a department store unleashed over a dozen perfume testers into the air simultaneously, creating a chemical haze that triggered coughing fits throughout the aisle. Customers evacuated. Staff told him to stop, and he responded, "I can't choose if I don't smell all of them together." Security escorted him out while the ventilation system worked overtime. The store had to temporarily close the fragrance section. 3. The guy who tried to return a rotisserie chicken after eating it completely at a Costco in California. A man brought in an empty rotisserie chicken container and demanded a refund, claiming the taste wasn't right. Staff declined. He became irate, insisting that the bones prove it was defective. Security walked him out as he shouted that he was fighting corporate greed. Multiple customers filmed the incident. Costco refunded nobody. 4. The woman who tried on 27 lipsticks without using any testers. A woman in a makeup store opened sealed lipsticks, not testers, and applied each directly to her mouth while filming a TikTok. When employees intervened, she argued that it's free PR for the brand. Security removed her while she insisted they didn't understand influencer culture. The brand understood just fine. They billed her for every opened lipstick. 5. The man who tried to bathe in a store display shower. In a home improvement store, a man stripped down to his boxers and stood inside a shower display demanding someone turn on the water. When told the plumbing didn't work, he yelled that a shower that doesn't shower is false advertising. Security escorted him out, wrapped in a towel, from the bath section. He did not pay for the towel. 6. The guy who got kicked out for racing shopping carts in the aisle. 2 adult men in Florida decided to recreate Fast and Furious grocery drift using shopping carts. They sprinted down the aisles at full speed, drifting around corners and nearly hitting displays. After one crash toppled a tower of cereal boxes, staff removed both men. One argued, "We didn't break anything important." The cereal disagreed. 7. The woman who played her own karaoke concert through Bluetooth speakers. A woman connected her phone to a store's Bluetooth speaker system and blasted karaoke versions of 90s pop songs. When staff begged her to stop, she refused, saying the store needed better vibes. After multiple customer complaints, security escorted her out mid-song. She attempted to finish the chorus while being led outside. 8. The man who brought his pet snake in a shopping cart. A man in Alabama casually rolled through a grocery store with a 4-foot python coiled in the child seat of his cart. Customers panicked. Staff approached him, and he insisted the snake was just helping me shop. Security disagreed. The snake remained calm the entire time. The shoppers did not. 9. The teen who tried to ride a hoverboard down an escalator. At a mall in Texas, a teenager attempted to ride a hoverboard onto a downward escalator. He lost balance instantly, tumbling into other shoppers. No serious injuries, but mall security banned him for 2 months. His explanation? I saw someone do it online. His friends confirmed he had not seen the ending of that video. 10. The man who attempted to price match his entire cart against fantasy prices. A man at Walmart brought a cart full of items to check out and claimed he wanted to price match everything. His proof was a handwritten list of imaginary competitor prices, including eggs, 3 cents, and TV, $19. Staff refused. He became angry and shouted, "It's my right as a consumer." Security escorted him out while he lectured them on market economics. Accidental disasters people caused without meaning to. 11. The woman who knocked over an entire wine display by turning around too fast. In a grocery store in Oregon, a woman browsing wine turned around abruptly when her phone rang. Her purse swung wide like a wrecking ball, striking a corner bottle. That bottle fell into the next, then the next, triggering a domino collapse of nearly 60 bottles. Red wine flooded the aisle like a cinematic bloodbath. Staff said she apologized nonstop, but still had to be escorted out for safety. Damages exceeded $900. Her phone call? A telemarketer. 12. The man who tested a hammock by jumping into it, breaking the entire display. In a sporting goods store, a man wanted to make sure the hammock was sturdy. Instead of sitting, he took a running leap into it. The display frame snapped, sending him crashing into a wall of camping stoves. Alarms triggered. Staff escorted him out while he explained that a hammock should handle energy. The manager later said it was not rated for that kind of energy. 13. The teen who tried to spin a fidget spinner on a jar pyramid. A teenager in a dollar store placed his fidget spinner on top of a decorative pyramid built from glass jars. It wobbled. He tried to stabilize it. The whole structure tipped over, shattering dozens of jars in a dramatic crash. Employees had to rope off the aisle. When security removed him, he said, "I just wanted to see the limit of balance." They found it. 14. The guy who sat on a display toilet just for a second. In a home improvement store, a man sat on a floor display toilet to tie his shoe. The toilet cracked under his weight, splitting down the side and spilling ceramic shards everywhere. Staff approached, and he insisted, "I wasn't using it, I swear." That wasn't the problem. The problem was the $300 toilet he destroyed. He was escorted out while apologizing repeatedly. 15. The woman who sprayed bear repellent to see how strong it smelled. At a Walmart in California, a woman found a can of bear repellent and, curious about the scent, sprayed a small puff into the air. Bear spray is not perfume. The aisle filled with capsaicin mist, sending more than a dozen customers coughing and fleeing. Paramedics treated several people outside. She kept saying, "I didn't know it was basically pepper spray on steroids." Staff banned her immediately. 16. The man who tried to use a store forklift. A man in a warehouse-style store climbed onto an unattended forklift and tried to move it a few feet. He didn't know how forklifts work. He hit forward instead of reverse, knocking over pallets of bulk paper towels in an avalanche that nearly buried him. Staff rushed over and removed him while he kept repeating, "I barely touched it." OSHA would not agree. 17. The couple who opened a pack of glow sticks inside the store. A couple opened multiple glow sticks, cracked them for fun, and tossed them around, unaware the liquid inside can irritate skin and eyes. A child was hit in the face with a glowing splash. Staff cleaned up while the couple insisted, "It's non-toxic." Non-lethal? Yes. Non-problematic? No. They were kicked out and told glow sticks are not party props for aisle 7. 18. The man who caused a flood by testing a garden hose indoors. In a hardware store, a man connected a hose to a display faucet to see the pressure. The faucet was functional. The hose was not secured. It whipped loose like a possessed snake, spraying water across the aisle and drenching multiple customers. Staff shut off the valve and escorted him out as he kept saying, "It didn't look that strong." 19. The teen who knocked himself out while trying a VR headset demo at an electronics store. A teenager tried a VR headset demo and immediately began swinging wildly. He punched a shelf, tripped over the cord, and fell backward into a rack of Bluetooth speakers. Security escorted him out, mostly for liability reasons. His only complaint? The graphics were too realistic. 20. The woman who used a fire extinguisher to kill a spider. A woman in Utah saw a spider in the cleaning aisle and panicked. She grabbed a fire extinguisher and blasted it across shelves of paper towels, cleaners, sponges, and customers. The store filled with white powder. The spider disappeared, possibly vaporized. Staff escorted her out while she apologized, saying, "I didn't know it would make that much smoke." The confidence crimes. 21. The woman who ate half the grapes to make sure they were fresh. In a grocery store in Nevada, a woman stood beside the produce section eating grapes straight off the stems. When staff told her she had to pay first, she argued she was quality testing and shouldn't be charged for grapes that didn't pass inspection. After she refused to stop, security escorted her out. She left shouting, "You can't sell fruit without letting people taste it." The store later noted she ate roughly 2 pounds. 22. The man who tried to return a frozen turkey he thawed 2 weeks ago. At a supermarket in Ohio, a man attempted to return a completely thawed turkey, claiming it went bad too fast. Staff explained the return policy doesn't apply to raw poultry kept unrefrigerated for days. He argued the store should have warned him. When security removed him, he insisted he was exercising consumer rights. The turkey was not salvageable. 23. The customer who reorganized an entire shelf because it was wrong. A man in a Target store spent nearly 40 minutes rearranging shelves in the cleaning aisle, claiming the products were not in logical order. When staff told him he couldn't reorganize inventory, he argued he was correcting the store's mistakes. Security escorted him out as he lectured employees on efficiency principles. They later spent an hour fixing everything he changed. 24. The woman who let her dog roam free because he likes shopping too. A woman in California unclipped her dog's leash inside a home goods store so he could explore. The dog knocked over candles, ran into displays, and startled customers. When staff asked her to leash the dog or leave, she replied, "You're ruining his experience." Security escorted her outside. She claimed the store didn't appreciate animal freedom. 25. The man who demanded a discount because he helped stock the shelves. In Colorado, a man picked up a dropped item, placed it back on the shelf, and then demanded a discount on his entire purchase because he had assisted with store labor. When told that was not how discounts work, he became angry and blocked the checkout lane. Security walked him out as he shouted, "I'm practically an employee." 26. The woman who brought her own scanner to speed things up. A woman in New York entered a supermarket with her own handheld barcode scanner, the kind used in warehouses. She scanned items and attempted to exit without paying, claiming she had scanned everything at home already. Security approached, and she insisted the store should integrate personal checkout technology. Police disagreed. 27. The guy who tested a bicycle indoors at full speed. A man in a sporting goods store hopped on a display bicycle and began pedaling down the aisle at high speed, yelling, "I need to feel the real torque." He clipped a shelf, crashed into camping equipment, and refused to stop until security physically blocked the aisle. His argument? How else am I supposed to know if it rides smooth? The manager? Outside. Literally anywhere outside. 28. The woman who tried a TikTok challenge in the cleaning aisle. A woman attempted a viral TikTok challenge involving sliding through aisles in socks on a polished floor. She slid into a mop display, knocking over buckets and brooms. When staff asked her to stop filming, she claimed she was creating content that benefits the store. Security didn't see the benefits. 29. The man who ate candy, then returned the empty wrapper. At a convenience store in Texas, a man ate a candy bar while shopping and handed the empty wrapper to the cashier, insisting he didn't need to pay because the experience wasn't satisfying. When the cashier refused, he became confrontational and refused to leave. Police escorted him out. He maintained the candy failed to spark joy. 30. The woman who used store makeup testers as full glam session. A woman spent nearly 40 minutes applying foundation, concealer, eyeliner, and lipstick using a makeup store's testers, turning the display into a personal vanity station. When staff told her testers weren't meant for full application, she said, "That's literally what they're for." Security removed her as she complained the store didn't support creativity. Chaos mode. The most ridiculous reasons people were kicked out. 31. The man who tried to camp overnight inside IKEA. Two college students in New Jersey decided IKEA would be the perfect free hotel. They built a fort out of storage boxes, crawled inside, and attempted to sleep until morning. Employees found them after closing time when a motion sensor triggered an alarm. They were escorted out and banned for life. One student later said, "We didn't think they had sensors." IKEA always has sensors. 32. The woman who held a birthday party in the frozen food aisle. A woman in Texas brought balloons, cupcakes, and 6 friends into the frozen section of a supermarket to celebrate her friend's 30th birthday. They sang loudly, blocked the aisle, and decorated freezer doors with streamers. Staff asked them to leave. They refused because the lighting was cute. Security removed them mid-celebration. The birthday girl said it was aesthetic. The store disagreed. 33. The man who hid inside a store freezer to prank a friend. In Ohio, a man climbed inside a large chest freezer to jump scare his friend. The lid locked automatically. He panicked and began shouting. Employees heard banging, opened it, and found him shivering. Security escorted him out after confirming he was fine. His friend wasn't even in the store yet. 34. The guy who tried on clothes and walked out wearing the store's security tags. A man in Florida tried on multiple outfits. Liked them so much, he wore all of them at once, including shirts, shorts, and a jacket over his original clothes. He attempted to leave, setting off alarms. When security confronted him, he insisted, "I'm just seeing how they feel in real walking conditions." He was removed after refusing to return the items. 35. The woman who brought a hibachi grill into the store. A woman in California wheeled a portable hibachi grill into a department store and attempted to cook shrimp samples for passers-by. When staff told her open flames weren't allowed, she insisted she was testing cookware quality. Security escorted her out as she asked customers if they wanted mall-side hibachi. 36. The teen who tried to ride in the ball pit display. At a children's store, a teenager climbed into a ball pit meant for toddlers and began swimming through it. The display collapsed, sending plastic balls rolling across the store like a tidal wave. Kids cheered. Parents did not. Security removed him while he claimed he was stress testing the integrity of the pit. 37. The man who used a power drill display to trim his toenails. In Colorado, a man took off his shoe, picked up a power drill with a sanding attachment, and attempted to fix a rough toenail. Employees froze in disbelief. The drill slipped, he yelped, and security escorted him out while he limped. He insisted he wasn't hurting anyone. The drill needed replacing. 38. The woman who brought a horse into a grocery store. A woman in Louisiana attempted to bring a full-sized horse into a grocery store, insisting it was her emotional support animal. Customers fled. The horse defecated immediately. Staff asked her to leave, and she argued the horse loves produce. Security escorted both out, leaving a very unhappy cleanup crew behind. 39. The man who tried to cook a frozen pizza in the store oven display. In a home appliance store, a man placed a frozen pizza inside an oven display, turned the knobs, non-functional, and then complained loudly that the oven is defective. When employees told him display units aren't powered, he began arguing with customers nearby. Security removed him while he shouted, "What kind of store sells fake ovens?" 40. The guy who hid in a clothing rack to be a mannequin. A bored man in Illinois crawled inside a circular clothing rack and stood completely still, arms stiff like a mannequin. When employees asked him to leave the rack, he refused, whispering, "I am one with the clothes." A child screamed upon discovering him. Security escorted him out after he attempted to freeze in place during removal. 41. The teen who tried to escape security on a shopping cart. After knocking over a display, a teenager fled the scene by standing on a shopping cart and trying to ride it like a scooter. Gravity intervened. He crashed into a rack of chips and was gently detained by staff. His explanation? "I thought I could outrun them if I had wheels." He did not have wheels. He had regrets. 42. The woman who ate an entire cheesecake by hand in the bakery section. In a supermarket, a woman opened a cheesecake box, ate it by the handful, and sat on the floor while doing it. When staff approached, she said, "I'll pay when I'm done." She did not get the chance. Security removed her after she threw a handful of cheesecake at an employee who asked her to stop. The cheesecake did not survive. 43. The man who tried to refill his soda using the chocolate milk dispenser. At a convenience store, a man filled his soda cup with free fountain refills, then attempted to refill it again using the chocolate milk dispenser meant for children's cereal cups. Staff intervened and he became angry, shouting, "Liquid is liquid!" Security escorted him out while milk dripped down the machine. 44. The guy who dressed as an employee and started giving orders. A prankster in Texas put on a red polo and khaki pants, Target uniform colors, and began giving orders to customers and staff. He told people to restock the bread section and clean aisle 5. Employees confronted him, and he insisted he was boosting morale. Security banned him immediately. 45. The man who tried to pay with a photo of money on his phone. A man in Tennessee handed the cashier a picture of a $100 bill on his phone and insisted it was modern digital cash. When refused, he argued cryptocurrency is just images, too. Security escorted him out while he yelled that the store was stuck in the past. Even his phone seemed embarrassed. Public chaos is the final boss of humanity, approximately 280 words. After 45 incidents across aisles, checkout lanes, frozen sections, display rooms, and customer service counters, the pattern is unmistakable. Stores aren't chaotic, people are. The first 10 cases showed tempers detonating over tiny inconveniences, expired coupons, perfume clouds, rotisserie chicken refunds based on taste philosophy. The next 10 proved accidents can be just as destructive: flooded aisles, broken displays, indoor hose testing, bear spray misunderstandings. The next 10 revealed the power of confidence untethered from reality, reorganizing entire shelves for logic, riding bikes indoors for torque, and tasting grapes like a self-appointed fruit inspector. And the final 15? Pure, uncut human improvisation, the kind that turns a store into a stage for behavior no psychologist could fully map. Camping in IKEA, cooking shrimp hibachi in HomeGoods, ball pit surfing, voluntary freezer imprisonment, emotional support horses, mannequin role play, digital money that is literally just a JPEG of cash. These weren't crimes. They weren't rebellions. They were ordinary people having extraordinary lapses in judgment, magnified by fluorescent lighting and the false confidence that public spaces somehow suspend the laws of physics, etiquette, and sometimes biology. Retail workers aren't paid enough to decode this level of chaos. Security guards aren't trained for it. And customers walking by can only whisper the universal phrase, "What is happening right now?" As we step into the final moments of this file, one truth stands out. A store is designed for order. People are designed for entropy. Everything else is just customer service. Aisles of order, customers of chaos. Stores are built on the illusion of order. Aisles arranged by logic. Shelves aligned with precision. Lighting calibrated to make everything look cleaner, brighter, more controlled than the outside world. But these 45 cases reveal a different truth. The moment people walk through those automatic doors, the laws of behavior begin to bend. Some people break down over coupons. Others trigger chaos by accident. A purse swing, a fidget spinner, a wrongly attached garden hose. Some walk in believing they know the store better than the employees who work there. And others enter with a level of confidence so detached from reality it becomes performance art. Camping in IKEA forts, grilling shrimp in the home goods aisle, testing power tools on their own feet, turning ball pits, escalators, and hoverboards into physics experiments. The shelves stay straight, the lights stay bright, but the behavior spirals. What makes these stories absurd isn't the rule breaking, it's the tiny decision that started everything. A thought like, "I'll just test this real quick. They can't possibly mind. I'll be careful. This will be funny. It's my right. It'll only take a second." These are the sparks that ignite retail chaos. Not malicious intent, but unfiltered impulse. Public spaces amplify that impulse. People forget they're not alone, forget the environment isn't theirs, forget that stores are ecosystems balanced on thin margins and thinner patience. Every retail worker knows the pattern. Someone enters normal, something small bothers them. Logic evaporates. A scene begins. And once a meltdown starts, whether from confidence, panic, boredom, or creativity gone rogue, the fluorescent lights turn every mistake into theater. But beneath the absurdity lies a quiet truth about humanity. People don't lose control in spectacular moments. They lose it in tiny ones. Moments where emotion overrides awareness, where instinct outruns thought, where the smallest inconvenience becomes a personal battlefield. Stores don't create chaos, they simply expose it. Because a store is where strangers gather, where stress leaks out, where ego comes alive, where logic takes breaks, where boredom becomes dangerous, where people forget they're part of something bigger than their own moment. And so this file stands as both entertainment and reminder. The world is full of rules, but people are full of surprises. And between those two forces, somewhere between aisle 7 and the checkout lane, absurdity always finds a way to break through. This has been the Absurdist Files, 45 dumbest reasons people got kicked out of stores, where order is designed, but chaos walks in on its own.